Ever feel like you're stuck on a treadmill?
Yeah.
Like always sprinting to meet deadlines, but never quite getting ahead. What if there's a better way to work? One that not only helps you get things done, but also, creates space to actually learn and grow along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
hmm
How Agile principles, combined with AI, can transform how we work.
Interesting.
We've got a collection of video presentations that explore this,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to unpack them with you.
It's not just about speed, right? It's about working smarter
Yeah.
and more sustainably, especially now that AI is, changing everything.
Exactly. But to understand how to get there, we first need to look at why traditional ways of working often fall short.
Okay.
Those rigid project plans where everything is set in stone from the start.
Ah, yes. The infamous waterfall approach.
Mhm.
The problem is it prioritizes avoiding mistakes at all costs,
Mm.
which actually ends up backfiring.
Because people end up hiding problems instead of addressing them, like sweeping dirt under the rug and hoping it'll magically disappear.
Precisely. Think of it like those watermelon reports. Green on the outside, suggesting everything's fine, but red on the inside, hiding all the problems.
Oh,
This lack of transparency prevents early problem detection,
right.
and it can have some pretty serious consequences.
And you're not just talking hypothetically, right? The videos mention some real-world examples that really drove this point home.
One that comes to mind is the Boeing 737 MAX. Early warnings about a critical software issue were ignored, ultimately leading to tragic outcomes.
Yeah. That's a stark reminder of what can happen when there's a culture of avoiding addressing problems head on.
Right.
And while most of us aren't building airplanes, this dynamic plays out in everyday work too.
Absolutely. Think about that small leak in your roof you keep putting off fixing.
Yeah.
Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It just allows the problem to grow until you have a major repair on your hands.
Okay, so we see the pitfalls of the sweep it under the rug mentality. How does the Agile approach tackle this differently?
Well, Agile's all about transparency and viewing failures as opportunities to learn and improve.
Okay.
A classic example is Toyota's End-on Cord. It empowers any worker on the assembly line to stop production if they spot a defect.
Even if it means halting the entire operation.
Yes. Because addressing the problem right away, even if it seems disruptive in the moment, it prevents bigger issues down the line. It's the fail fast, learn fast concept in action.
So instead of fearing failure, Agile encourages us to embrace it as a chance to grow.
Exactly. It creates psychological safety, where people feel comfortable speaking up about problems without fearing blame. This open communication is key to identifying and resolving issues before they, snowball.
And speaking of psychological safety, several videos really emphasized its importance, especially in the world of AI.
Right. It's about fostering an environment where people feel safe to share their ideas, challenge assumptions, and even admit mistakes without fear of negative consequences.
One of the videos used a really powerful analogy. Imagine a nurse in an operating room,
Okay.
noticing a surgeon about to make a critical error.
Uh-huh.
They need to feel safe speaking up.
Right. Absolutely. And the same principle applies when implementing AI. People need to feel comfortable raising concerns about potential biases in algorithms,
Right.
ethical implications, or even their own job security. Without that safety, crucial information gets suppressed and potential problems go unaddressed.
So how do we cultivate this culture of psychological safety,
Right.
especially in a field as dynamic and rapidly changing as AI?
This is where those agile values come in.
Okay.
It's not just about using agile tools to manage AI projects more efficiently.
Yeah.
It's about using those core agile values to build a more human-centered and supportive work environment.
So we're talking about things like transparency,
Yes.
regular feedback loops, and continuous improvement.
Exactly. These create a space for open and honest conversations, allowing for early course correction, preventing those watermelon report situations we talked about earlier.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. It's not just about applying agile principles to AI.
Right.
It's about embedding those values into the culture of how we work with AI.
Precisely. And when people feel psychologically safe, they're more likely to share their knowledge, challenge the status quo, and contribute their unique perspectives,
Yeah.
ultimately leading to better outcomes for everyone.
This is already making me rethink how I approach work. And we've barely scratched the surface of these videos. There's so much more to explore, from specific agile practices to the cultural shifts needed to truly embrace this new way of working.
One thing I'm particularly excited to delve into is the concept of sustainable pace.
Oh, okay.
How can we leverage AI to help us work not just faster, but smarter and more sustainably in the long run?
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
Because we all know that the um, always-on, hustle harder mentality is simply not sustainable.
Right.
And that's where Agile principles combined with the power of AI can really shine.
It's about moving away from that hero culture where individual sacrifice and long hours are seen as the path to success, and instead focusing on creating a work environment where people can thrive over the long haul.
This reminds me of the eighth Agile principle. Agile processes promote sustainable development.
Yes.
It seems like this idea is gaining a lot of traction lately, and for good reason.
It's not just about preventing burnout, although that's incredibly important. It's
Mhm.
about recognizing that a sustainable pace is essential for maintaining quality, fostering innovation, and achieving long-term success.
One of the videos used a great analogy, trying to run a marathon without proper training.
Mm.
You might sprint ahead at first, but you'll quickly burn out and hit a wall.
Exactly. And we see this all the time in the workplace. People push themselves to the limit, sacrificing their well-being for short-term gains, only to end up exhausted, demoralized, and ultimately less productive.
Yeah. The cost of that cycle is huge, not just for individuals, but for organizations as a whole.
Yeah.
We're talking about burnout, decreased quality, missed deadlines, and ultimately a decline in innovation.
And this is where AI has the potential to be truly transformative. By automating repetitive tasks, managing workloads, and optimizing workflows, AI can significantly reduce the cognitive load on teams, freeing them up to focus on higher-level problem-solving and creative work.
This is where it gets really interesting. It sounds like AI could be the key to unlocking that sustainable pace we all crave. But there's a catch, right?
Right.
We can't just throw AI at the problem and expect it to magically fix everything.
You're absolutely right. Without the right mindset and practices in place, AI could actually exacerbate the problem. We need to be intentional about how we integrate AI into our workflows.
So how do we ensure that AI enhances our ability to work sustainably, rather than just pushing us to work faster?
The key is to start with a strong foundation of agile practices and use AI to support and amplify them.
Okay.
We're talking about things like Kanban boards with limits on work in progress, time-boxed iterations to create a rhythm for work, daily stand-ups for quick feedback and adjustments, and regular retrospectives for continuous improvement.
It's like AI is this powerful tool that needs to be wielded carefully.
One of the videos used the analogy of a marathon runner.
Okay.
AI can provide you with better shoes, hydration strategies, and even real-time feedback on your pace. But it's still up to you to put in the training, listen to your body, and develop a sustainable running strategy.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
AI can enhance our capabilities, but it's not a substitute for thoughtful planning, self-awareness, and a commitment to working sustainably.
Precisely. The real magic happens when we combine the power of AI with the human-centered principles of Agile. It's about creating a work environment where people feel safe, supported, and empowered to do their best work over the long haul.
This has been such a thought-provoking conversation already, and we've only just scratched the surface. There are so many more fascinating insights to uncover in these videos, from specific Agile practices to the cultural shifts needed to truly embrace this new way of working.
What I find particularly intriguing is the idea that AI doesn't just enhance existing Agile practices.
Right.
It also opens up entirely new possibilities for how we approach work. This isn't about automating the old ways of doing things. It's about reimagining what's possible when we combine human ingenuity with the power of intelligent machines.
That's what I'm most excited about. The potential for AI to help us create work environments that are not just more efficient, but also more meaningful, fulfilling, and ultimately more human.
Absolutely. And one area where we're already seeing this potential unfold is in work visualization.
Okay, I'm all ears. We're big fans of visualization here at the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a well-designed dashboard or infographic can make complex information so much easier to understand and act on.
Exactly. And with AI, we can take work visualization to a whole new level.
Okay.
Instead of static dashboards that simply reflect the current state of things, AI-powered dashboards can dynamically update in real time, highlighting emerging issues before they disrupt the workflow.
So it's like having a crystal ball that shows you potential problems before they even happen.
In a way, yes. AI algorithms can analyze massive amounts of data, identify patterns, and predict potential bottlenecks, delays, or risks. This allows teams to adjust proactively, instead of reacting to crises.
That sounds incredibly powerful. Can you give us a concrete example of how this might work in practice?
Imagine a software development team using an AI-powered Kanban board.
Okay.
As tasks move through the workflow, the AI is constantly monitoring progress, dependencies, and potential roadblocks. If the AI detects that a particular task is at risk of delaying the entire project, it can alert the team, allowing them to intervene early and adjust their approach.
So it's like having an intelligent assistant constantly looking out for potential problems and nudging the team in the right direction.
Exactly. This proactive approach can make a huge difference in maintaining a sustainable pace and preventing burnout. Instead of constantly putting out fires, teams can focus on delivering value and making steady progress.
This is blowing my mind. It sounds like AI-powered work visualization could be a game changer for so many teams and organizations.
It has the potential to be transformative.
Yeah.
And it's not just about preventing problems, it's also about identifying opportunities for improvement. AI algorithms can analyze data to identify patterns of success, highlight best practices, and suggest optimizations that might not be apparent to human observers.
So it's like having a data-driven coach that's constantly helping you improve your game.
Precisely. And this continuous improvement loop is essential for staying ahead of the curve and maintaining a competitive edge in today's rapidly evolving business environment.
This is all incredibly exciting, but I have to admit I'm also a bit apprehensive. With all this talk of AI taking over tasks and optimizing workflows, it's hard not to wonder about the future of work. Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
That's a question that's on a lot of people's minds these days. While it's true that AI will automate certain tasks and potentially displace some jobs, it's also important to remember that AI is a tool. It's a powerful tool.
Right.
But ultimately, it's up to us how we use it.
You're saying that AI is not necessarily a threat to human workers, but rather an opportunity to reimagine how we work.
Exactly. Instead of viewing AI as a competitor, we need to see it as a collaborator. AI can handle the repetitive, mundane tasks, freeing up human workers to focus on the things we do best: creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, and building relationships.
That's a much more optimistic perspective. It makes me think of that famous quote, "The best way to predict the future is to create it."
Precisely. We have the power to shape the future of work, and AI can be a powerful tool in that process. The key is to embrace a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, to be willing to experiment and iterate, and to focus on creating work environments that are not just efficient, but also fulfilling and meaningful for human beings.
That's a vision I can get behind. So how do we start moving in this direction? What are some concrete steps that individuals and organizations can take to harness the power of AI while preserving the human element of work?
One of the most important things is to cultivate an agile mindset. This means embracing change, valuing collaboration, focusing on delivering value, and being willing to experiment and learn from our mistakes.
It sounds like we're talking about a pretty significant cultural shift.
It is, and it's not going to happen overnight, but the good news is that there are proven agile practices that can help us make this transition.
Can you give us a few examples?
One of the most powerful agile practices is the concept of self-organizing teams. This means empowering the people closest to the work to make decisions and solve problems,
Yeah.
rather than relying on top-down hierarchies. In the context of AI, this means giving data scientists, engineers, and other frontline workers the autonomy to experiment, iterate, and adapt to changing conditions.
That makes a lot of sense. After all, they're the ones who are closest to the data and have the deepest understanding of the challenges and opportunities.
Exactly. And when people feel empowered and trusted, they're more likely to be engaged, motivated, and innovative.
So it's not just about implementing AI. It's about creating the right environment for AI to thrive. We need to foster a culture of trust, collaboration, and continuous learning.
Absolutely. And one of the key ingredients in that culture is psychological safety. If people are afraid to speak up, share their ideas, or admit mistakes, we're never going to fully realize the potential of AI.
This brings us back to the importance of those core Agile values: transparency, feedback, and continuous improvement. These values are essential for creating a work environment where people feel safe, supported, and empowered to do their best work.
And when we combine those values with the power of AI, we have the potential to create something truly remarkable. A future of work that is not just efficient, but also humane, fulfilling, and ultimately sustainable. And when we talk about reimagining work with AI, it's not just about making things faster. It's about working smarter and creating a more sustainable rhythm for ourselves.
That reminds me of one of the videos that talked about how constantly pushing for heroic effort can actually backfire.
It's like sprinting a marathon.
Yeah.
You might get a head start, but you'll quickly burn out and won't be able to keep up.
Right.
Sustainability is about finding a pace you can maintain, even over long periods.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But how does AI help us achieve that? It seems like AI could just push us to work even faster.
It's true, AI can be a double-edged sword, but when combined with agile principles, it can become a powerful tool for sustainability. Think about it. AI can take over a lot of the repetitive, mundane tasks that drain our energy and focus.
Oh, like those administrative tasks that always seem to pile up.
Exactly. AI can handle things like scheduling, data entry, and even some basic decision-making. This frees up our mental bandwidth for the things that require human ingenuity, like creative problem solving and strategic thinking.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But wouldn't this lead to people losing their jobs if AI is taking over so many tasks?
That's a valid concern, and it's something the videos address head on. It's not about replacing humans, but about augmenting our abilities. Imagine AI as your super efficient assistant, handling the tedious stuff so you can focus on higher level work.
So it's like a partnership. Each of us playing to our strengths, AI handles the routine, while humans focus on the creative and complex challenges.
Exactly, and this shift can lead to more fulfilling and meaningful work for everyone. Instead of feeling like cogs in a machine, we can leverage our uniquely human skills to drive innovation and make a real impact.
I like that. And it ties back to what we were discussing earlier about agile values fostering psychological safety. If people aren't afraid of being replaced by robots, they're more likely to embrace AI as a tool that can empower them.
Absolutely. When people feel secure and valued, they're more open to exploring new ways of working and collaborating with AI. It becomes a journey of shared progress rather than a threat.
Speaking of exploring new ways of working, one of the videos that really intrigued me was about AI-powered work visualization. It sounds incredibly futuristic.
It is, and it's already being implemented in some organizations. Remember those watermelon reports we talked about earlier, where problems are hidden beneath a facade of everything being okay?
Yeah, those were scary. It seems like early problem detection is crucial for avoiding those scenarios.
Exactly. And AI-powered work visualization can help us do just that. Imagine a dynamic dashboard that uses AI to analyze real-time data from your workflow, flagging potential issues before they escalate into major problems.
It's like having an early warning system for your work.
Exactly. It can identify bottlenecks, predict delays, and even suggest solutions. Think of it like a GPS for your work, helping you navigate around potential obstacles and reach your destination more efficiently.
That sounds amazing. So it's not just about working faster, but about working smarter and more proactively. It sounds like AI-powered work visualization can be a game changer for teams looking to create a more sustainable pace.
Absolutely. It empowers teams to stay ahead of the curve, anticipate challenges, and make adjustments before they become crises. And that's a key ingredient in achieving a truly sustainable work rhythm.
I'm starting to see how AI can be a powerful ally in creating a more human-centered and sustainable work environment. But one thing I'm curious about is how do we actually cultivate an agile mindset within organizations? It seems like a pretty big shift from the traditional way of doing things.
It is a significant shift, but it's not an insurmountable one. The videos highlight some key principles that can guide this transformation.
All ears. Any practical tips for getting started?
One of the most important is to start with small experiments. You don't have to overhaul your entire organization overnight. Choose a team or project where you can pilot agile principles and then share your learnings with others.
That's a great point. It's about starting small, iterating, and building momentum over time, kind of like the agile approach itself.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to fail. Remember, failure is an opportunity to learn and improve. Embrace those setbacks as valuable data points and use them to refine your approach.
I love that. It's about shifting our mindset from fearing failure to seeing it as a stepping stone to success.
And another crucial aspect is leadership buy-in. Agile transformation requires commitment from the top down. Leaders need to champion the change, create a supportive environment, and empower teams to embrace agile principles.
That makes sense. If leaders aren't on board, it's going to be an uphill battle to create a truly agile culture.
Absolutely. Leaders need to model the behaviors they want to see in their teams, embracing transparency, feedback, and continuous improvement.
And this ties back to the concept of psychological safety we discussed earlier. Leaders play a huge role in creating a culture where people feel safe to speak up, experiment, and learn from their mistakes.
Right. If leaders create a culture of blame and fear, it will stifle innovation and prevent agile principles from taking root.
So it's not just about implementing agile processes and tools. It's about creating a culture of trust, collaboration, and continuous learning.
Precisely. And that culture shift is essential for unlocking the full potential of both Agile and AI.
These videos are really making me rethink how we approach work. And it's inspiring to see how Agile principles and AI can come together to create a more humane
Sustainable.
and ultimately more fulfilling work experience.
It's an exciting time to be exploring these ideas, and there's still so much more to uncover.
Absolutely. And one area I'm particularly interested in is how Agile principles can be applied to the development and deployment of AI itself.
That's a crucial topic because as AI becomes more powerful and pervasive, we need to ensure that it's aligned with human values and goals.
So how can Agile principles help us develop and deploy AI responsibly?
That's a great question, and one that the videos address in depth. Let's dive into that next.
Well, it all starts with recognizing that AI, powerful as it is, needs guidance. And Agile principles provide that framework. Instead of trying to create the perfect AI system from the get-go, which is practically impossible given how quickly things evolve, we can use an iterative approach.
So, building in small steps, testing, learning, and adapting along the way. Sounds familiar.
Exactly. It's like applying those Agile principles of continuous improvement and feedback loops to the AI development process itself. We build a bit, we test it in the real world, we see what works and what doesn't, and we refine our approach.
This brings us back to embracing failure, doesn't it? We need to create a culture where it's safe to experiment and learn from mistakes, even when building something as complex as AI.
Absolutely. And this goes beyond just the technical aspects. We need to be constantly asking ourselves, are we building the right thing? Are we building it the right way? And are we using it responsibly? Those are big questions. It seems like we need to involve a lot more than just engineers and data scientists in this process.
You're spot on. That's where the concept of diverse perspectives comes in. One of the videos highlighted the importance of bringing in ethicists, sociologists, psychologists, even artists and philosophers to help us anticipate potential problems and ensure that our AI systems are aligned with human values.
It's like we need a whole team of navigators to guide this AI ship in the right direction.
That's a great analogy. We need people who can help us see the potential blind spots, think about the long-term consequences, and ensure that AI is used to enhance human well-being, not undermine it.
This makes me think of that North Star analogy from one of the videos. Having a clear vision of what we want to achieve with AI and making sure every step we take aligns with that vision.
Exactly. It's not enough to just build cool technology. We need to be intentional about the kind of future we're creating with AI. And that requires a deep understanding of human needs, values, and aspirations.
It's inspiring to think about AI not just as a tool for automation, but as a partner in creating a better future for humanity.
It is. And while it's easy to get caught up in the big picture, there are also practical steps we can take today to move in this direction.
Okay, so what can individuals and organizations do right now to start building this more human-centered AI future?
For individuals, I think the most important thing is to start educating ourselves about AI. The more we understand how these systems work, the potential benefits and risks, the better equipped we'll be to engage in meaningful conversations and make informed decisions.
That makes sense. But where do we even begin? AI can feel so vast and complex.
There are so many resources available online, from free courses to articles to, well, deep dives like ours.
Great tip. I'll definitely be checking them out. What about organizations? What can they do to ensure they're developing and deploying AI responsibly?
One crucial step is to create a culture of responsible AI innovation. This means going beyond the usual metrics of speed and efficiency and prioritizing values like fairness, transparency, and accountability.
It's about embedding those human-centered values into the very DNA of how they build and use AI.
Exactly.
It sounds like we're moving beyond the era of move fast and break things and entering a new era of move thoughtfully and build things that benefit humanity.
I love that. And it's not just about individual organizations doing this in isolation. We need collaboration, knowledge sharing, and open dialogue to create a truly ethical and beneficial AI ecosystem.
This has been such an incredible journey. We've explored the limitations of traditional approaches, the power of Agile values, and the transformative potential of AI, all while emphasizing the importance of human-centered design and responsible innovation. I'm walking away feeling both inspired and empowered.
Me too. And it's important to remember that the future is not predetermined. We have the power to shape it. By embracing Agile principles, the transformative potential of AI, and a deep commitment to human values, we can create a future of work that is not just efficient, but also humane, fulfilling, and ultimately sustainable.
That's a beautiful vision, and I'm so glad we had the opportunity to explore it together today. A huge thank you to our expert for sharing their incredible insights, and to all of you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the videos we discussed. There's a treasure trove of information waiting to be discovered. And if you're enjoying these deep dives into the world of ideas that matter, be sure to subscribe to the show and leave us a rating or review. It helps other curious minds like yours discover us.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out with your thoughts, questions, or even suggestions for future deep dives.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep exploring.